Hey there, Nick with C&F Cruise Show. This is Cruisin' Family Channel, and we are a family of five, and we share all sorts of stuff about cruising, travel, and just our family experiences. Thanks so much for joining us. On today's episode of CNF, I'm going to share with you booking a cruise for five, and whether it's better to get one room or maybe two rooms. Or spring for six people and maybe three rooms. Now, it's hard to find a cabin that fits five. I don't know if you're in that boat, in that ship, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, needing to book that. But there are some benefits and some drawbacks to trying to find just one room. And the biggest drawback that I can see is just the limited number of cabins that are available for five. Most cruise ships aren't going to have many cabins at all that have five, and when they do, it's in like that suite category. So if you can spring for it and you're good with it, and money's not an object, those suites that occupy five, go for it. They're awesome. We actually did that on the Carnival Jubilee. We booked an Excel aft suite, and it has that corner wraparound, with the table. We had some big loungers, a big circular seat, some other chairs, and even a bathtub that's on the balcony, like all the way at the end of the balcony. And like I said, if you can spring for it and you can afford it, go for it. Most of the time, this family of five can't spring for it or afford it. However, way back in 2021, sometime, there was a 50th anniversary code that gave 50% off, and Jubilee had just released its sailings, and we went ahead and booked that Excel suite for five, and the price was very comparable to two balcony cabins. And having a suite versus having a balcony, there definitely are some major benefits to having a suite. It was a wonderful experience. The cabin had a king bed in one room, kind of like a living room, with a sofa. That sofa came out. There was a bunk that came down from the bottom, and then there was another it wasn't a trundle. Nope. There was the bottom sub tube down there. So we had five in that room. It really was a great room. Now, going forward, trying to find that same cabin on any Excel class ship has been near impossible. Definitely not near the price. Most of them get booked up pretty quick. On the Jubilee, I believe there was maybe two or three that slept five. The other Excel aft suites slept four or three, maybe it's four, but not all of them sleep five. Not all of them have the pull-em from the ceiling, so that's something to really consider. But having all that deck space was really nice. We love a good balcony, and it was above average. We had probably 30 people come over at one time towards embarkation, so it definitely fits a lot of people. But if you can afford it, go for it. And the setup for that five were two single beds, and then two pull downs and a trundle on the floor. There was very little space for like moving around, but there was some floor space still. And we definitely made do with the space that we had. The one that most popular that I'm thinking of is the one we went on, the Carnival Radiance. There was enough room. You can check out our cabin tour. It's less than 3 minutes long. I'll show you that setup. You can see it. You can go in and check those out if you want. If you don't want, that's okay too. If you want to look at somebody else's, that's fine too. But As a family of five, we had enough room. We survived. One big thing that we do, regardless of what we're doing or what cabin we're doing, we always book into or pack into packing cubes that are color coded. So each child has their own color. We have pink, green, and black, and their clothes stay inside those packing cubes. And when they want some clothes, they pull them out. They get the item that they want, then they put the packing cube back into the bottom of the shelves. And it works decent. It definitely keeps things organized more than if we had taken all their clothes out and put them into the drawers like that. So something to consider if you're a family of five, if you have a lot of people in your cabin, try to find ways that you can distinguish between the clothes so that it acts kind of like their own separate like containers or drawers or whatever. We've also had five in an ocean view. Ocean view on the Carnival Radiance again. You can see kind of a trend there. The ocean view in one cabin, because it's kind of like a balcony, but you don't have the balcony on the end. It seemed like there was a lot more space in that cabin on the Radiance versus the interior. Again on the Radiance, so same ship, but a lot more floor space. The one thing to note is our cabin steward in both of those experiences kept the room made up just like that. They never made the couch back into a couch. I wish that they would. I probably could have asked, but everybody was a little bit more comfortable with it, maybe like that. So it was probably just my wanting, but definitely something that you probably like. If you're like, oh, that has to happen, I need it to be made up during the day. You could probably talk with your cabin steward and get that arranged for you so that you can have the living space in both ways. So we've most often what we do is we'll book two connecting balconies, and then we'll invite either grandma or grandpa, and then we have a sixth person. And the primary reason for having that sixth person is so that we're not Cheryl and I aren't having to split up sleeping. And we find that it usually doesn't add much to the cost of the cruise for us to have that sixth person. So we go ahead and spring for grandma and or grandpa to come on with us with the cruise. The benefit of having two cabins is there are two bathrooms, right? 5 people, 1 bathroom, tough. 6 people, 2 bathrooms. There's a much better ratio of bathroom to person. And I don't believe we've ever booked a balcony cabin with 5 of us in one cabin. I know that some of those rooms on Carnival specific are available. We've been venturing out and trying to book on other cruise lines. Most recently, we went on the Wonder of the Seas, and there are very few cabins with 5 that accommodate 5 people. Again, unless we want to go up to the suite level. So you might have heard that hook at the beginning. I talked about 3 cabins. Why would you do that? You have to play with the numbers. Sometimes booking just 2 people in a cabin is actually less expensive than booking a third person. And we found in 2021 in December, I found that the rate to book 2 connecting balconies and then an interior was like 40% cheaper, I want to say, getting that third cabin than trying to put 3 people in 2 cabins. It doesn't always work out that way, but it's worth playing with the numbers, playing with the cabins that you can get, especially for families of 5. We're always negotiating. What do we want? Do we want 2 cabins here, or do we want to do 1 cabin? And we usually land on trying to get those 2 cabins. But in that specific cruise, and I have a video on the 2021 cruise here. It was on the Panorama. and we went into 3 rooms. And here's what we did with that third cabin. We only went into maybe 4 times the entire cruise. The rest of the time, the kids just kind of slept with us, and it wasn't a big deal. So, because we had balconies and both balconies had a couch that they could sleep on, it worked out just fine. We didn't have to bring any extra furniture. No furniture had to get moved. So definitely play with the numbers. Go on to the website and see how it works out. Because when it's 4 is a lot easier to book up, or when it's 3 or 2 than when it's 5. I would say 6 is easier to book than 5. So for our upcoming cruise, we are going to be on a Royal Caribbean ship, and they have the Oasis class has an ultra spacious category. The ultra spacious category means that it's much larger inside, and it actually fits up to 6 people in one cabin. Just one bathroom, but we have a interior booked for that. And the awesome thing with this is when you come in the door, to one side it's the bathroom, the other side are 2 a set of bunk beds. And then you come in, there's a couch, there's a bed that could be separated into 2 singles, or into their Royal Queen, as they call it, or Royal King, however you want to say it. I'm not sure what the correct terminology is. So it can sleep up to 6 in this cabin. We'll have 5, and I'm super excited about it because we're going to have a little bit of more floor space in it. The girls are going to have kind of a separate area kind of for their stuff, and we'll be able to spread out just a little bit, but we're only going to be in one cabin, which I feel like is my preference. If I had to say which is my preference, I know that may sound like counterintuitive when you want an extra bathroom, and I guess during the times of getting ready, it's convenient. But I feel like it's more convenient to have everybody in the one space, everybody having that connectivity. And maybe I'll feel different when our kids are older. They're right now, well, almost 10, 11, and 12. So maybe when they're a little bit older, we're going to prefer having 2 cabins, or my preference will be 2 cabins. But as of right now, my preference is the 1 cabin. And just for simple eyes on kids, making sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be, especially when they need to be, is important to me. So if you have 5, if you're looking to book for 5 and you're like, where do I start? I would say go onto the cruise line that you're looking at, go onto their deck plans, and look for those cabins that are identified as 5, having 5 available to you. It's a little bit easier sometimes. It really depends on that ship, but it's really easier when you know kind of the category type that you're looking for, so that you can go ahead and book that category type. So get the category types that you need that will accommodate 5, because not most category types are not going to accommodate 5. You're going to have to book those two cabins. Another tip there with that is connecting rooms. I find on Royal, the connecting room rate is higher, which makes the benefit of booking 2 rooms pretty like out the door, non-existent. It was crazy. I was looking at we were looking at the Star of the Seas, and we're looking to book one of their the balconies that are inside of the cabin. I forget the name of it. Anyway, if you book for 5 or 6, those cabins are like double the price to be able to put that many people in there. It's insane to me. Like, it's like a tax on the family of a family. that has 5 people going into a cabin. So it's a bummer. It is what it is. They don't have Icon class does not have ultra spacious rooms, not to the expanse of having 5 in the cabin. They have family cabins, and they have family suites, and they have family balconies, but all of those have a much higher rate on them. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. I haven't done much research into some of these other cruise lines, but do a little bit of research, find out that information about the specific cruise line that you're going with, and book accordingly. So I want to wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions about booking for a family of 5, please ask them. I have lots of experience cruising with our 3 kids and my wife, so please speak up. We have a lot coming up. Duck preparation, small ship versus big ship, cabin type review, which we just talked about a little bit. Our vlog preview coming up. Vlogging on a cruise ship, and then also a packing and preparation checklist. So lots coming up on this channel. Please check it out. If you enjoy today's content, please give me a thumbs up. If you're looking forward to some of the things I just talked about, if you wouldn't mind, hit subscribe. I enjoy bringing information to our viewers. So, and if there's something that I haven't talked about or I didn't bring up in this video, leave it down in the comments below, and I will work on answering your questions or making some content just for you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.